You guys have been asking how the M3 Pro compares to a Windows laptop. Say if you have $2,000, what kind of performance do you get? So we partnered up with Lenovo and Intel, and this is the Legion Slim 7, an Intel Core i9 laptop. That means that it's Intel's latest hybrid architecture, including pushing gaming performance. This thing packs the Intel i9 13900H processor with 14 cores and 20 threads compared to the M3 Pro in our MacBook. Both of these are about $2,000, and as you can see, we have the 14-inch, and of course, you can get a 16-inch as well, but then you're looking at more money, and if you match up the storage, you're looking at $2,700. So even though the 16-inch is the same weight and size as this Lenovo Legion 7 Slim, well, price-wise, this is the comparison that matches up. Now, I have to say that I was very impressed with this laptop when I took it out of the box. I think this is the highest build quality Windows laptop that I have ever felt. We have a metal design with pretty much zero flex, and it feels very premium. Let me go ahead and close these down. Of course, we have the logo right here and right over here. And what is crazy cool is that the ports, a lot of them are on the back. We have the HDMI back here, and it is HDMI 2.1, just like on the MacBook. We also have 3 standard USB Type-A ports, which you can't get on a Mac, and these are all 10 gigabit per second, so they are the fastest version of these, and that is just cool to have that in the back so you can connect stuff and keep it out of the way. Now, the MacBook does have the MagSafe charging connector on the left side, along with 2 Thunderbolt ports, and you have a headphone jack, and then on the other side we have an SD card reader, another Thunderbolt, and that HDMI. Now, with the Windows laptop, we have 2 USB-Cs on the left-hand side along with the headphone jack, and one cool thing is the USB Type-C over here is actually USB-C PD, so you can use that to charge up this laptop, and one of these is a Thunderbolt port. Now, on the other side, we have a webcam switch that physically disconnects it for privacy, and we also have a full-size SD card reader. Now, you guys also probably notice all of the vents on each side and along the back, and if we go ahead and flip this over, we also have these vents at the bottom here for cooling, and this thing can cool itself down. We have these standoffs here, and if we take a look with the covers removed, you guys can see that that cooling system is really beefy compared to the MacBooks. We have a lot of heat pipes there with very large fans. Now, of course, both these are very powerful, and we have a dedicated graphics card built into the Lenovo laptop, so I want to see how it will do in terms of thermal. So I ran a 10-minute stress test, and I was really impressed by how cool the Lenovo runs. Of course, the MacBook, they really care about it being quiet, and so it does get quite hot. And if we take a look at our thermal camera, we see that we have a lot of heat built up, and on the Lenovo, those fans move so much air that there's not a lot of hot zones. Now, of course, running the fans in performance mode will optimize cooling for the system and maximize performance, but you can tweak that. There's actually a shortcut right over here. You hit function and then Q, and you can actually go into the quiet mode or the auto balance mode, and then we can go back to the performance mode. So if you want to prioritize the system running quiet, you could do that. And in the Lenovo Vantage app, we can also change a bunch of settings, including customization for the backlighting with a lot of different effects that you can customize. We do have a fingerprint scanner on both these built into the power button. And as far as the keyboard quality, the keys feel really nice on the Lenovo, just like on the MacBook. As far as trackpads, we have the magnetic trackpad here compared to a standard diving board design with the Windows laptop. Now, as far as RAM, we have 18 gigs on the Mac and 16 on the Windows laptop. One very cool thing though is that you can add an additional RAM module for only 50 bucks, bringing it up to 32 gigs. Whereas with the Mac, it is all soldered in. So you have to do that when you purchase, and to go up to the similar level, that's gonna cost you $400. Now, as far as storage, both these use PCI Express 4, and we'll cover the speeds in just a bit, but Intel Intel is now shipping PCI Express 5 with their 7000 series chipset, plus 4 lanes of PCI Express 4, which is up to 8 more lanes. But the Mac here at $2,000 comes with 512, where you get a terabyte with the Windows laptop. And yes, you can actually add another NVMe PCI Express 4, and for between 50 to 75 bucks, you can have 2 terabytes compared to the Mac, where you have to do when you buy it, that costs you $600. The Legion 7 Slim also has the biggest battery that you can legally bring onto an airplane, so that is really cool to see. And as far as the displays, the Mac has a 14-inch 3024 by 1964 resolution display that is mini LED up to 1600 nits, and it has 120 Hz refresh rate compared to the 16-inch 2560 by 1600 500 nit LCD that is sRGB 100%, so it's tuned from the factory, and this one actually goes up to 240 Hz. Now comparing the SSDs, our MacBook got 4600 compared to 5263 in read, and then 4200 compared to 4300 for the write. Now, of course, the Lenovo has a 1 terabyte, and if you spend another $200 on the MacBook, then the speeds will kick up. Now, getting into CPU performance, we have the Intel i9 13900H. It's a Raptor Lake processor that hits over 5 gigahertz at its peak compared to Apple's M3 Pro in this 14-inch. For single core, we're looking at 2778 compared to 3107. And then as far as multi-core, we have 12134 compared to 13692. Now switching to Cinebench 2024, which is gonna put a full consistent load on the CPU, we have 1026 for the Intel i9 compared to 865 for our M3 Pro. So the tables have flipped here because these Intel chips have more threads and more cores, which is increasing multi-threaded performance for rendering and of course gaming. And now switching over to graphics, we have the RTX 4070 compared to the M3 Pro's unified kind of architecture, and we have 11,880 compared to 5,463. That's more than twice as powerful. Huge difference. And then looking at gaming performance with GFX Bench, as far as the 1440p Aztec Ruins, we have 329.9 FPS compared to 179.4. That is getting close to twice as powerful. And then for the 4K test, we have 142 FPS compared to 78. Intel is using the Thread Director, which helps with background tasks, getting rid of interruptions, and Smart Cache, which accelerates the processor for better FPS. And you guys could see the gaming performance is way better. And of course, both of these have ray tracing. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Blender. In Party Tug, the Lenovo took 45 seconds to render this compared to the MacBook, which took 57 seconds. So we also see a difference, and keep in mind, this is with the M3 Pro using ray tracing, because the M2 Pro version, well, that took 2 minutes and 13 seconds. So we saw a big gain, but we are still faster with the Windows machine. Now, as far as photo editing with Adobe Lightroom, we have a test of 50 high-resolution edited RAW files, and exporting those took 1 minute and 19 seconds compared to 45 seconds with the M3 Pro MacBook. Now, as far as video editing, I'm using DaVinci Resolve Studio, and for our standard 5-minute 4K test with effects, the Lenovo took 1 minute and 5 seconds to render it compared to 1 minute and 21. So it is actually faster. And with that, the M3 Pro does have ProRes encoders, but the Lenovo has AV1 encoders built in and decoders. So that helps if you're gonna do streaming and video for online. And then to really see the capabilities of these systems, I'm denoising 4K Blackmagic RAW. And here, the Lenovo is getting 15 to 16 frames per second compared to 9 frames per second on the MacBook. So there you guys go. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Click that circle above to subscribe. Check out one of those videos right over there. This has been Max, and I'll see you in the next video.